Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. Good evening, Tricia Cunningham. What am I saying,
Oh my
Tricia?
goodness, get out of this chair. You're fired.
You know what, Tricia Walsh. And you know why I
good.
said Tricia Cunningham? Because a little earlier on that I had just lunch with her and she says hello.
Oh, my
Okay.
husband, I think, saw you and he said she was having lunch with an older lady. So that
And
makes
you
sense.
know what? Thank you so much, Adam. But it's so nice, Tricia Walsh, to
It
see
is
you
nice to
again.
see you, Susette.
We've just started our second show here for Mystic Matters.
Second
and
taping of the year?
It's been fantastic. We've had Spike Lobdell, the last scene a couple
For
of weeks
New
ago.
England Science and
And
Sailing.
so we've
Yep.
got a great program tonight. But before we get started, what's going on?
Well, I'm super excited to talk about two really, really fun events that are coming up at the Chamber. May 8th, Friday, is the 4th annual Fusion event at the Velvet Mill.
Fantastic.
Tickets are on sale for $40 in advance. You can buy them on our website, mysticchamber.org. And that is going to be a really fun event. Body painting, food sampling, wine, beer. It's just an experience for all your senses.
Entertainment.
Yep.
Lot of
Joint with the Westerly Pawcatuck Chamber of Commerce. Great friends there, and we're excited about that. And then June 19th, we have our wonderful event, a Great Gatsby event, coming up at the Harbor House in at Mystic. And that is going to be hosted by our wonderful Senator, Andrew Maynard.
Yes.
That is going to be a wonderful event as well. Tickets are $100 a piece, and they will also be available on our website. And I expect that that will sell out very quickly.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, that's probably one of the events that I'm most excited about because we get to dress up.
Yes.
Okay.
And we're going to
sort
have
of that
old-fashioned
era.
cars.
Absolutely. It's
We're
going to
going
be
to have-
a fantastic event.
Yes, and we've got the best band. We are so excited. That, again, is joint with Westerly Pawcatuck Chamber of Commerce. Without the creativity of their team and our team together, it's just we've got some really fun things happening. So
Yes,
excited.
very excited about that, Tricia. So, should you introduce our guest tonight?
Well, I'm very interested.
I mean, we talked about fusion a little bit.
Yes,
and-
so, what better time to introduce Jennifer Sampson,
Welcome,
a
Jennifer.
wardrobe
Thank you.
artist and owner of Fashion Fusion. Only
That's
Fusion is with a Z on that case.
Who came up with that, Jennifer?
I worked really hard with my coach, and we came up with that because it really just had a lot to do with the fusion part. It's
Right.
more than just, for me, fashion is not just about fashion. It's not about trends. It's about who someone is. It's about getting to know someone. It's about their lifestyle. So that's kind of where the fusion came in. And we did the Z just to add a little pizzazz.
Aren't you, when you talk about fashion fusion, you talk about the integration of fashion, I guess is what it is. But when people actually get out there, aren't the clothes a statement about themselves?
It definitely is. And
Okay.
that's where I feel like you need to kind of know the person to help them decide what they want to portray. And I work with women to kind of get to know them and help them bring their best foot forward. Help them also to step out of their comfort zone.
No.
And yes.
Oh, God! You're just talking about that.
Yeah, well, I think that, one thing I'm just so interested in this whole concept and talking to you about this is as somebody, you or I, reading a magazine and you see this thing and you're like, okay, that's a trend. But how do I even begin to show up at work with that kind of a trend, and have people take me seriously? Or how do I make it my own so it is still trendy but unique?
That's interesting. That's a great, it's kind of being on trend is what I like to say. And I would have to tell you something that's a little bit different about myself and where I come from my style background is more about, I do look at the magazines, I see the couture stuff, think, oh, that kind of is a little out there for me. I love, because I do travel around the world, I love seeing the things that are going on the street and bringing that home and bringing that to people and taking that. It's been kind of an innate, organic style. My style is very different than probably a lot of other people.
Yeah.
It works. And I help women to try and figure out what their style is and then also how for them to maybe try something a little bit different. To not have to go that major edgy, but to bring something different into their lives.
So we talk about fashion, but the very first thing you have to do, and we do have cheat notes that Jennifer provided for us, but is if we were adding to our fashion, and both Tricia and I love clothes.
A little too much so.
I don't have any place to put it.
Yes.
I don't have any place to put it, Jen. I mean, we want to start this, but what do we do with our closets first?
You know what? I'm sure you've all heard of the closet audit.
Yes.
That term, doesn't that kind of scare you a little bit?
Does.
Well, is that like if you haven't worn it in a certain amount of time, you should get rid of it?
Kind of. A closet audit is going into your closet and pulling things out. What I like to rename that is a closet revolution. And I work with women. I walk into their closets and I get to help them pull out those things. It's a process. It's an intense process because it's very personal. Our clothes say a lot about us. It says about who we were, who we want to be, who we want people to see us as well. And so when you dive into your own closet, a lot of times you need either a trusted friend or someone like myself, a wardrobe artist.
And this is one of the services you provide.
Yes,
As a
and
wardrobe artist.
artist.
So we talk about closet revolution.
Revolution.
This is part of your service.
It is. It's a
Okay.
part of my service. I do that. I walk into someone's home, they hire me. It's a 4-hour process. There's homework beforehand.
There's just 4 hours?
That's for the that's for the current season.
Okay.
I mean, now I do have clients that it might be a little bit longer than that.
Again, I felt that, although I did not see that on camera. I mean, mine would be more of, let's put it this way, it would be a term that you would have to be audited for. But again, it's a very important, I think that's where you start.
That's where you start.
That's where you start, right?
You start.
Because people that invest in clothes, I mean, for myself, and I know Tricia, we've been in the business world a long time. So there is that sort of mindset that there's a business look. But I think you can get edgy with a business look as well. But, sometimes we don't want to step forward and do that.
Right. And
So-
when I walk into someone's closet, and the reason I term myself a wardrobe artist instead of just a stylist
Right.
is because I can look in someone's wardrobe, I can walk into people's closets, and I can see things that maybe they can't see. And I can put things together to help them kind of create that look, to take an item that they may not normally wear as a casual piece and make it more casual. Or take something that they said, I can only wear in the summer, but then I can pull it into the fall and the winter as well.
So this is what you call the closet,
revolution.
right? But then you go into the closet shopping.
Yes, that's for my clients, that's for people who've already pared down their closet a little bit more. They don't really need that extra help. Really the closet revolution is for someone who's, I can't get rid of this, I can't get rid of that. They need that extra push.
Or they keep maybe buying the same type of thing that they're going to have the perfect outfit for, but then never have the perfect outfit.
Right. And that
I
happens
buy
too,
a lot
right?
of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Where you look at it and you think, oh, I'm gonna wear this, or you have 5 pieces exactly alike and you never wear them because you don't have anything quite to go with them. So that's really what the revolution is. The closet shopping is a step down from that. It's 2 hours, and what I'm doing is putting together outfits. We take photos of those outfits, and so that person then can look at those, and then they can also learn from what I've taught them, and they can start to put the outfits together themselves. And it gives them that ability to feel a little bit more creative, to try something a little bit different. So I write.
Okay. So why don't we get into what you have over here, Jen, and some of the outfits that you've put together. For instance, what you have on today, okay, which is fantastic, but we were talking about this. I would never put this together. So why don't you just go over to your board over here and show us what you have.
And what I really have done, just so you realize, what I've done is I've tried to create outfits from pieces to kind of transition us into spring. So the biggest thing too is when you're looking at your closet, you're going to assess your closet. Then you're going to go through and decide what you're going to get rid of and what you're going to keep. But what I'm trying to show you is how you can transition pieces. And what I did too is I knew I'd have a wide variety of an audience. So I tried to create outfits that were a little bit more business-like and a little bit more casual. So.
Okay. All right.
So.
My gosh. Okay, so you look fantastic up there, Jen.
Well, thank you so much. And what I wanted to show to you is how, if probably something like this is a great winter sweater. Right now we're in that transition period. So you have a wonderful sweater, but you add that pops of color underneath it to transition us into summer, into spring and summer. So I added this great little top underneath here. Love that it peeks out at the top, but also peeks out at the top, at the bottom and at the top. And as you can see, you wear those with a great pair of brown boots right now, because we're still a little bit snowy. Brown boots, throw a little brown boots. I am a scarf person. I love wearing scarves. A lot of people don't. That's kind of my signature piece. And trust me, you can just throw on a scarf any which way and it looks great. But if you want to then too, you can transition that outfit by putting a simple little blue flat with that. So that's when you're transitioning over. So
They're showing a lot of this, you know, wearing the blouses out.
Yes.
Just like what we've got on camera here.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Yes, so wearing a lot of times now, you can wear your blouses out, but also there's this thing called the one tuck, or what we kind of call the trucker tuck. If you want, you can just tuck it in a little bit here too, if you'd like. If it feels like it's a little too flouncy, you just kind of tuck it in a little bit.
Just one little tuck.
One little tuck.
Right, I've seen that.
Right in which is great. And as you can see, what I did with this too is I paired up this top, so mixing prints. I know it's kind of scary, but it's great. Mixing prints, mixing different colors together. And two, as you can see, with this one, I'd put on these great little heels and I'd be ready and good to go. But I also have kind of the same jacket on, exact same jacket, and how I kind of casualed it down a little bit so I can make it a little bit fun and a little bit more casual. Again, mixing a lot of prints as well with that. So that's what I kind of like to show, is how this is a spring top that you can then a little bit more wintry as we're kind of transitioning in. Now we're a little bit more into the summer and you can wear it this way. Great way to cuff your sleeves. And this is a trend right now you're gonna see. And I know, like you were talking about being a businesswoman, a lot of times I know you have suits and I get that. Another great way too is for someone who's not as in a structured environment, they can do the soft suiting idea. So wearing a jacket with a different pair of pants so that you can create more outfits as well. So.
Okay.
Wow, this is like, okay, all right. So you've got two more?
I have two more as well. So this is definitely a very transition. What I showed here, one of my favorite tops, I love this top, and that's why I have a couple of them just to show, is gonna be a nice soft top. It's perfect for summer because it's sleeveless, it's gonna be flowy, but how I can wear it right now, layering, adding a lot of layers, and how you can take those layers off eventually as it's getting warmer. So you have a nice jacket on, then you have a great little denim shirt, you have that. Again, wearing a yellow pair of pants right now is great. I'm not a rule follower. As a stylist, I'm not a rule follower. I really don't feel like there should be rules. And you'll know when you can mix and match something perfectly. But then I transitioned it into, well, a little bit more into summer. And it's more for the businesswoman, is taking that with a nice pair of linen pant, a nude shoe. That's gonna be one of your must-have shoes this season. And what's great about a nude shoe, it elongates your leg, which is wonderful.
Right.
And then having the same exact jacket, and just the simple little necklace with that one instead.
But also taking that jacket off for an after work.
Exactly, you can take that off.
Right.
You have that nice little sleeve.
So you go from
sleeveless
work to cocktail hour.
cocktail hour.
Right.
So, which is very nice. So that's something that's wonderful about that. And I wanted to show different ways that you can mix things, put yourself into a different, kind of different look. And also, as you can see, scattered prints, little prints like this, different prints like that, mixing those together, which you may not normally do, but you can actually do that quite nicely.
So Jen, come on
Yes.
back. What are the rules on sort of, we are different shapes and sizes. Is there a rule that, we can't work certain colors or longer jackets if you're a little bit shorter, or?
And that's interesting that you bring that up, because this is a jacket that I normally probably wouldn't have worn, but it's a little more tailored because I am more petite. So I do work with my clients on finding out what their body type is, working with them to what's going to fit them better and stuff like that. So there are rules, obviously. The big thing is that as long as you're comfortable, clothes are meant to, I believe they're meant to camouflage, if you'd like to say. They're meant to camouflage some of the things that you're not as happy about. And they're also able to accentuate the things that you love about yourself. And that's something I've learned too, is that I work mostly with women, and women, we're hard on ourselves.
Oh, I think we.
Absolutely. There's a reason I don't watch this show.
Well, Tricia, the reason is because we're here. But many people watch the show, and and it's interesting that they'll sometimes critique Tricia and I. And it's okay too. I mean, they'll say, "Oh, I like your hair, Susette. You should don't wear it shorter," or that yellow really does not look good on you. I just thought with spring and Easter.
Yes.
So for the business side of it, outside of the black pants, let's say, we certainly, yes. How do you get out of the black and navy? Isn't that mostly the business women? I mean, I have 10 pairs of this, by the way. So that's something that you can do too.
Yep, I can help with that as well. But I think too is having those great basics, having those that black skirt, those black pants, those blue skirt, blue pants. They're great because guess what? Then you get to mix and match on the top.
Right.
And you can also wear the same skirt 3 times in 1 week, if you'd like, because you have the ability to mix and match on the top. But also too, if you start to look at doing more colored bottoms, then you can actually kind of mix and match. You can have even more mix and matches as well. I think into the summer, you're looking more for, as we have the linen pant here, you're gonna look at more of that color, which is nice to have in the summer and traveling in spring and summer, so.
Now, do you ever have to tell someone, I'm sorry, I know you love this piece of clothing, but it is all wrong for you?
I've had to do that. And I will tell my clients who know me, and they know me quite well, they know I cannot lie, and they know.
And shouldn't.
And no,
Yeah, and shouldn't.
And they know. They know in my face, or they'll know in my tone. I'll be like, let's try something different. Let's work on something else. It's been tough. One of my favorite clients traveled to Hawaii for her. We were doing the closet revolution. We were going through her closet, and she had this piece. I thought she was going to cry when I told her we have to throw. I'm like, we're done. We're throwing that out. She almost cried.
Is it from the 1980s dynasty?
It was pretty much. But there was a story behind it.
Oh,
that's always,
okay.
you
Yes,
have
it's always the emotion.
And it was.
Yeah.
And I sat there. It was an amazing story. It was. She wore this when she was pregnant with her son, who was now 19.
Okay, so it's time to get rid of that. Yeah.
It was time to get rid of it, but I knew we couldn't get rid of it. I looked at her. I said, "Let's think about something different. Let's make that into. Let's find and have someone make it into a teddy bear, and you give it to your son's child."
That's a perfect idea. That is
that's
just
so perfect.
That's a perfect idea.
So I do more than just pull out stuff. Another client, she had a pair of jeans when she was a size 20, and we said we'll leave that one pair of jeans in that closet, and she wanted it there to remind her where she was and where she is now.
Yes.
And I normally wouldn't do that, but we had that long conversation
That's
about
that emotional attachment.
Yes,
to
and that's where my job is not just about clothes, it's not just about fashion, it's not just about trends. It really is an amazing emotional connection, and I love doing that.
And what do you say about fit? Like if you go to somebody's house and they're like, oh, well, that's I have this section for when I fit into those clothes. Do you advise them to pass those clothes on and try and get more things that are better fitted for their body?
That's a good question because I know a lot of women have that. When I get into that size again, or they're keeping it because it's a future.
It might happen.
It might happen.
Yeah,
right.
I have that one dress. It might happen.
Right.
And that's so tough when I have clients that do that. I look at them. I said, okay, we'll keep a few key things. We'll tie a ribbon on them. We'll put them in the closet. We'll keep them there.
Right.
But
that's not a realistic goal.
If it's not realistic, it depends. And I'll say, we can keep a few of those pieces. And I might be very different than many other people, but I just feel like sometimes you have to understand where they're coming from. But I do believe that women, and most of my clients, I tell them, you need to dress for where you are right now. I know you don't want to spend that amount of money on something, but you need to dress where you are right now, because that is only going to help you as you either lose weight or as your body changes, because we all know
Yes.
our bodies start to change.
So, go ahead.
Well, I was just thinking, it's absolutely better to spend the money and look better in a pair of jeans that fit than a pair that you're spilling out of because you're forcing them to
Forcing
fit.
them in.
So-
It's much better. And I also truly, I believe in tailoring. I am a big advocate of getting a good tailor.
I have one that I see once a week. I just want,
You need to choose short women.
Yes.
once a week I'm constantly at my tailor. But so we've gone through the closet revolution, the closet shopping, and basically you do a personal shopping for women too. When you are in the interview process, someone hires you, and that is why you have your own business. You are a wardrobe artist. It's basically an interview, right? Because we have to understand that this is also a price. And so how do you figure out what you start with first? Like, is it always the closet revolution? Because that's certainly a price that is a necessity. And then from there, they go into you designing a wardrobe for them? I mean, how does the interview process go?
A lot of my clients I've received from my business, I'm represent a designer clothing line on the side.
Yeah.
So I do that, so I've received many of my clients that way.
Okay.
Most of my clients, that's how I've received them. And from anyone else, as I go forward in my business,
Right,
it would
continue to
I
grow.
continue to grow. It would definitely be, would be a sit down, kind of figure out where they are. Some people might just want me to shop for them on a personal, they might like my style and they'll say, okay, I want you to shop for me just, for this event. Help me put this together.
Well, I guess that's what I'm
Yes.
saying. They can sort of a la carte.
Yes, they can
Okay.
a la carte. Yes, thank you.
That's
Sorry.
fantastic, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because
Yep.
sometimes they don't need a specific, service from you. But there is, for instance, if we talked about a la carte and they want you to this a special event, but let's say somebody's traveling, okay? And I'll tell you, because I've traveled so much, and I traveled recently with down to Florida, and I traveled with one of the staff members from the aquarium. I come out and I have this, literally a suitcase that could fit underneath the. Because I'm traveling alone, I don't have my husband to put it up. And it was 4 days, 3 nights, 4 days. Well, he came, he said, I've got to go to baggage. I'm thinking, go to baggage? What are you here 4 days? How do you get, and you're
See,
an
that's how
airline
I
stewardess.
pack, though, is the baggage, everything, for 4 days.
Right, the smaller bag, or
No, big. I pack
Oh!
way too much.
Jennifer, please
So-
help me with Tricia.
Yes,
So I
I
guess-
pack things I don't even take out of the suitcase.
Right. Okay. So twofold. We can hire you a la carte, okay, for a special event, or we can hire you for Tricia. So tell us about that.
That is something that is one of my fortes, because my other job is I'm a flight attendant.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So that's why I fly around the world.
So you hate the people like me that are like cramming, it will fit, yes.
We have a few minutes, so Jen,
Little bit.
Jen, we have
No,
about 5 minutes, but this
okay.
is very important.
But I really do. I have helped women pack for trips.
Yeah.
And what I'll do is they'll have ideas of what they want to wear, and I will put it together. And I am probably much like you.
Yeah. Oh,
When I go on vacation, I'm a little crazy,
yeah.
but I write down what I'm going to wear.
Oh, I do
I-
that every day. Yeah. Yeah.
Every day.
For the day.
Oh, every
Yeah,
day?
yeah, okay.
Every day
What
that you're
is-
on vacation, you're
Yes.
going to write down what you're going to wear.
Right.
Yes.
And that's what I do for my clients is I will write down not what pair of underwear they're wearing.
No. But, you
But
do
I
have-
will write
yeah.
down, we'll look at their outfits and I'll tell them how they're going to transition that outfit
Right.
from daytime, you're doing this, this, and this during the day. Then at night, you're going to go to this.
Right.
You're going to add this accessory, that accessory, and whatnot. And you're going to change shoes or whatever. But I usually, travel with two pairs of shoes.
Okay.
2 pairs of shoes. I mean, of course, then you have in the hotel room, I always bring a pair of flip-flops or something to,
Right.
a pair of socks or whatever. But literally, And you know, because I've been in the industry for so long, and people have seen me with various outfits. I think they think when I travel but my concern is as having a bad back. When I travel alone, I don't want to do that, and I want to be able to either shove it underneath the seat or have something light enough where I can put up there, and that means not having a bunch of clothes. So, I mean, tell me, I'm going to share something with you. We have a few minutes. So I bring like 2 pairs of pants, 4 tops, and then sort of work from there. Tell me what you bring, Tricia Walsh. I would like to know.
On a recent 6-day vacation, I think I brought 8 dresses, 2 pairs of jeans.
Did you wear all of this?
No, I didn't. I came back and half of it was clean.
Okay, may I highly suggest Jennifer Sampson, our wardrobe artist. But anyways, a few minutes. She needs help.
Well, what you talked about, something that's great, what you were doing is called capsule wardrobing.
Okay.
And capsule wardrobing is usually 2 bottoms, 3 tops, and you can create 20 outfits from that.
Right.
That's what you were doing.
That's exactly what I was doing. Yeah.
Exactly. And
Do you see the fear on my face?
I know. I was like, great, yay! That's something. It's hard to do, but if you think about the pants, the skirt, you're wearing the same, and you just switched up the tops, and you probably could wear the tops many different ways, and that's something too. I help women. That's really what I do.
The other thing is too is if there is, and I think, and I used to travel like this. Well, what if I have an accident? What if I throw some? Bring a wardrobe, or bring the type of material that you sort of can wash and wear, or you can get it to the hotel and have them launder it as quickly as possible. So that I've run into that situation too, where I've had to, oh my gosh, I gotta do this and have it laundered. But
Everything I brought had to be dry cleaned. Yeah, I'm
okay,
horrible. I'm the
so
worst traveler.
before we end the show,
Well, how do we get a hold of you?
That's exactly what I want to get
Yes.
to. How do we get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me through, the best way is actually through my Facebook page.
Okay,
It's
so we
called,
have it right on the screen here, Fashion Fusion.
Fashion Fusion.
And your email address.
And my
also
email,
your
my phone number.
Cell phone, yeah.
Yes, my cell phone number,
Yeah.
my email address. Those are the best ways to get a hold of me. Also, I'm on Instagram a lot, but if you are following my Facebook page, you're going to see a lot of my mix and matches with.
Also, like free tips.
Yes, and that's really what my Facebook page. You can follow me on my Facebook page. It truly is the Fashion Fusion Facebook page is about fashion.
Yeah.
It's about trends, but it's also about some of my other loves: travel, food, and wine.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of mix in there. It's not
But that is
just
the fusion.
That's the fusion.
That's your fusion.
It's yes.
Well, Jennifer Sampson, this has been really enlightening. I've learned a lot. I've known you for many, many years, and certainly
I think I'm about to know you.
my dear Tricia, friend here, co-host, president of the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. I think she may need some help.
Yeah.
But thank you. As we wrap up, you have done an amazing job with your business, and you're certainly an icon in the fashion industry. So thank you so much for sharing all this information with us. And Tricia, I adore you, but honey, you need some help on the travel side of it. But we're happy to be back and sharing all of our businesses with you. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, Mystic Matters. Good evening.